So basically, I don't know where to start, but I just recently turned 20 M20, and I have been with my boyfriend M-21 for a little over a year. Over the winter break, we spent a lot of time together, and I slept over at his house often. I said to him over text that I am not in the mood to do anything sexual, and I just don't want to do any of that type of stuff. And he agreed. When I went over to his house on the first day, he started trying to touch me and initiate having it, but I was visibly showing that I didn't want to, and was saying, wait, I'm not in the mood, but he kept pushing it. He then started being aggressive, assuming that's what I wanted and that, or why I was denying it, and we did it. I kinda just acted like it didn't happen, and it was weird afterwards. Then again, another instance happened. The next day I was in pain from the day before, so I kept saying I was in pain, but he kept saying please it. Again, it happened next day where he kept pulling down my pants. While I was laying down on my stomach on the bed, I kept pulling them back up, telling him I'm not in the mood, but he kept saying he just wants to touch it, so I just let him. All of a sudden, I feel him forcing himself inside me and putting his hand over my mouth. I was crying during it and afterwards. This time he noticed me crying afterwards and kept asking what wrong, and was just being really oblivious to the situation, which made me feel even more weird. Then it made me just cry more. He kept grabbing me asking what's wrong, but I couldn't get any words out. I told him that wasn't right, and what he did was way too much, and I was still crying. When I turned around, he was laughing for a second at me crying. Afterwards, he kept saying sorry and that he doesn't want me to look at him any different. I didn't want to believe that someone like my Heave would actually do something like that, so I just tried to pretend it didn't really happen. Then it happened again. On New Year's, we went to a party, and I got cross-faded and really drunk. We went back to his house afterwards. I don't remember anything really that happened that night, but I woke up and there was his nut coming out of me. So I instantly knew what happened. I told him, we had sex, right? And he said, yeah, like he fully remembered it. I told him I don't remember and said I was really drunk, and he tried to backtrack saying he was more drunk than me and make it seem different. After all of this happening, I just feel so disconnected from everything and life overall, especially myself. I thought I could just ignore it, but it's taking a huge toll on me mentally, especially since I have history of being taken advantage of, which he also knows about. This has also happened earlier in our relationship, actually, when I had a lot of pain down there from an infected hair follicle. He took me to the clinic and I got a prescription and medication and was in a lot of pain. If you're a girl and you have had one, you know. I was also on my period that, or when we went back to his place, he kept touching on me, trying to do it, and I kept saying I can because of the pain, and on my period, he kept begging and touching me and moving me. Then he showed me some done that he had, if you know what I mean, and I never tried this before, though most have done is smoked some weed. He was asking me if I wanted to try it, so I was like sure and tried it. Yes, so dumb of me. But afterwards he started forcing himself inside me without me even realizing. It hurt so much because I was in pain. I was pushing him away so much forcefully, and he kept pushing himself back and telling me to take it and forced it inside, which was so traumatic. Even afterwards he was saying he was sorry, but it was really brief and just got brushed off. I don't really know what to do as of now, though I feel like I should break up with him, but I know how attached I am. I just didn't know how to go about it. He is overall a really sweet, sensitive type of guy, and people know him to be that and wouldn't think of him like this. Maybe his friends also. He hasn't abused me in any other ways, but he does have a habit of habitually lying and not telling me things. I have a lot going on in my life right now as well, and I just don't know how to go about my thoughts right now, as this adds so much more stress on top over everything. Some advice would be nice. Also, he would finish inside me, causing me to need to take frequent plan Bs without me even agreeing as well. The fact that this has more shares that upvotes is concerning. I hope I do not getting clowned.